Welcome to our first lesson. Imagine for a moment that you find yourself stranded on a deserted island. Survival is crucial. Take a moment with your class and talk about 3 basic necessities you will need to survive. You do not actually need as much as you think in order to survive. Today, we're going to dive right into exploring needs versus wants so that you're well on your way to becoming a survivalist. Let's talk about money. As you become older, you have the opportunity to receive more money. Take a moment with your class and discuss some of the ways that you make money now and how you will make money in the future. When you start making money, you have to start thinking differently. You have to ask yourself whether you need something or if you want something before you buy it. But what does it mean to need or want something? Take a moment with your class to discuss what it means for something to be a need. Think about if you're stranded on a deserted island, what would you need to survive? We all have a lot of needs, but it all comes down to 3 basic necessities: food, clothes, and shelter. Let's say those together now. Repeat after me: food, clothes, and shelter. Say it one more time: food, clothes, and shelter. Excellent. Now, take a moment to discuss with your class what it means for something to be a want. Wants are things that you would like to have, but you could live without. Some examples could be expensive shoes, luxurious cars, or new phones. Why is it hard to know the difference between a need and a want? Can a need be a want or a want be a need at the same time? For example, can I need shoes and want shoes at the same time? Yes. However, that doesn't mean I need the latest and greatest, most expensive pair of shoes. Everyone has different needs, and what might be a need for me could be a want for you. So you see, needs and wants are interchangeable. But it's important to remember that needs are the basic things needed for survival, and wants are desires that you'd like to have, but you could live without. One last question. Is it okay to want things? Of course. We're not here to tell you to never spend any of your money on fun. You can have whatever you want as long as you plan for it and make sure that your needs are taken care of first. So, if it's okay to want things, why do adults sometimes say no when you ask for things? It's important to keep in mind that adults have to take care of your needs first before they can give you your wants. Do you think adults want things too? Like a brand new car? If they want it, why don't they buy it? This car costs only $216 a month. Take a moment with your class to discuss other expenses they may have to consider when it comes to having a car. All of these other costs we call the firm factor: fuel, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. Everything from gas to insurance must be considered when owning a vehicle. Take a moment with your class to discuss what are some other costs that adults are responsible for. Adults have to think about a lot of costs that they need to pay for. For example, there are utility bills. These are the bills that we pay for water, electricity, gas, sewage, and more. They also have to think about insurance, like home, auto, and health. And they have to think about unplanned expenses like birthdays, holidays, and emergencies. Not to mention, adults have to provide for your needs. Remember, food, clothes, and shelter. So the next time, before you ask for something, consider your family's expenses. Needs always come first. So, as we get older, we need more. Let's take a moment to watch the following video to see what we really need.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was really nice of you. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, Kaylin, so this is the woman I've been telling you about, Judith Levine.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so she says that you didn't buy anything for a full year.
Well, my partner and I spent some money, but only for the barest necessities.
So what is necessary to live for a year?
Well, you need food, but you don't need to pick up any pizza from the corner. You can just buy food ingredients.
Okay.
You might need medicine, and if you're like me and you work at home, internet access. So you see, needs are depending on who you are and where you live. But what I didn't need was any new clothes, any new shoes, CDs, didn't download any music, didn't go to the theater, didn't go to the movies.
What motivated you to do this?
There's a couple of things. I kind of felt like my own spending was out of control, like yours. But I was also worried about all this junk that everybody's buying, you know, electronic gizmos and plastic toys and clothes, and they're just throwing them away, putting them in the landfill, and they're going to be there till the end of time.
So you didn't spend money for a whole year. How did that change you from the year previous?
Well, for one thing, I saved $8,000 and paid off my credit card debt.
Wow.
But, you know, the bigger change was I really started to move my focus out into the world and not so much on myself. I wasn't just going out and buying things for myself and bringing them back to the house. I was much more active in my community. I was spending more time with my friends and my family.
So I totally can't see a teenager doing this. Could one of us do this?
You could do it.
I'm not so sure I could.
Of course you could, and it would be a lot more fun if you did it with your friends. So, you know, you might want to just all read the book.
Oh yeah. I guess if I read the book, I wouldn't be losing my money.
Well, at least you'll know where it went.
There you go.
That's true. Thanks so much, but we have to get back.
Okay. See ya.
Could you go a year without buying any wants? It would be very difficult. Take a moment with your class to discuss how much money you think you would save if you didn't buy any wants for a year. Luckily, you don't have to. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't think about the purchases you make. When it comes to needs versus wants, it can be hard to tell what influences the way you spend your money. Maybe your friends or your family influence the way you spend your money. Perhaps your finances, or social causes, even your health, or what circumstances you are in. Your education, your faith, and the media can all influence the decisions that you make. It's safe to say that your values, what you think is most important, shape the way you spend your money. Let's take a moment to complete a short exercise to see if you're making the most out of your money. Now that you are willing to cross off every other value for the one you found most important, think, how does this value influence the way you spend your money, and at what expense would you be willing to give it up? Now, talking about influences, do you think advertisements influence the way you spend your money? If you think yes, you're right. It all starts with persuasion. There are 24,000 TV ads a year in the US alone. Let's break down how ads have influenced you throughout your life. At the age of 2, you are drawn to fictional characters, so cartoons and animals. By age 5, you are persuaded by your own wants and desires. By age 7, you begin to think more realistically, and by age 8, you are a full-blown consumer. Advertisers know this. So they invest $160 billion into persuading you alone. Marketers also target you by using products that pique your interest through product placement, location, pricing, and even promotional strategies. Trick cereal, for example, appeals to animistic thinkers. Next time you go to the grocery store, notice how these branded cereals are all at a child's eye level. Cigarettes also target youth with special flavors or other promotional items. This too is no accident. When it comes to your spending patterns, it's all about trust. 84% of you talk about things that appeal to you through word of mouth. 68% of you check online reviews before making purchasing decisions, and 70% of you look to advertisements to guide you in making purchasing decisions. Again, marketers know this, so they produce about 17 billion advertisements annually. There are many advertising techniques that marketers use to draw you in. Take, for example, the movie Elf. Did you notice that when he's holding the Coke bottle, the viewers can see it? Although you may not have paid much attention to it at first, this is a strategy marketers use so that you subconsciously buy into their product, and it actually works. Does anyone know what company this commercial is for? If you guessed Progressive, you're right, and you know it so well because it is played repetitively on purpose. Do you know who this is? Beyonce. But what do you think she is promoting? Pepsi. She was promoting this product at the Super Bowl. This is because it is viewed nationwide. Marketers take advantage of this great platform to gauge a large audience with their advertisements. Advertisements also use jingles to promote their company. In Las Vegas, there is an injury attorney and most everyone there knows his jingle. Glenn Lerner is the way to go. Call 877-1500. How about you? What's your favorite commercial jingle? Lastly, certain products are more appealing because they have certain brands, celebrities, or popular characters. Take the Frozen-themed lunchbox versus a regular lunchbox, down to the Happy Meal versus a regular meal, and even cars use celebrity advertising. So you see, the millennial generation, your generation, is being studied to better understand where your spending habits stem from. People refer to your generation as the microwavable generation because you want things fast. This form of instant gratification appeals to your emotions, and marketers know this. The purchases you make are not only based on your values, but many are based on the tiers of this pyramid. But you don't have to memorize this. Why does any of this even matter? So when thinking about the big picture, you have to realize that your generation is spending on average $200 billion annually. That's 3 times more than how much your generation is earning. Do you think you're a large contributor to debt? Let's see. In comparing teen and adult spending, your generation spends more in every area except transportation. Why do you think this is? Well, many of you may eventually want to save up for a car because it's cool to have, whereas adults consider their family needs when it comes to a car, such as reliability and how economical it is. So remember, when you start making money, you need to start spending differently. Becoming a survivalist starts with you.